John, you guys saw a couple of shots fall early tonight. Just what does that feel like seeing the ball go in the basket? And does that sort of make the shooting contagious for you guys from long range?
Yeah, I think that's just a natural thing. When you see your teammates shooting with confidence and you see them go in a few times, then, it's contagious. It rubs off on others to make other shots and just be aggressive.
Michael.
John, late in the second half or midway through the second half, you handled the ball a lot. I guess, what led you to take it over a little bit there?
Just the trust that my teammates had with me, because I've been in these situations. I've closed out games last year a lot. And then just, I just had the confidence to just go make the play, either whether it's to shoot it, whether it's to get it on and get to my teammates.
Go ahead, Jim.
Nolan, can you kind of take us through your thought process at the end there with the flagrant?
Yeah, it was a hard foul. Obviously I didn't really mean to get a flagrant, obviously, but, I didn't want to give him any free points, especially at the end of the game, just let him go and get a layup. So, we played to the whistle, and I wasn't just going to let him go and get some free points. I was going to still send him to the line and kind of do what we do.
Nick over here, Andrew, and then Michael, and John.
Yeah, for Nick and Nolan, Rhodey had 12 and all you guys had at least 17. When there's able to, kind of find that balance throughout the starting lineup, just how is that what you kind of envision with this group, and how can it make it tough run a good defense?
Yeah, it's really good to see us, sharing the ball for tonight, having everyone's shots go in. We just boost that confidence going forward in the season. And I think that's what our offense is built on, moving the ball, get it popping, moving sides, that kind of stuff, making that defense work. And, when the shots go in, it makes it look even prettier.
Yeah. Very well said. Anybody else? Okay. Michael?
John, how has this recent stretch of games impacted your confidence? You talked about it in that final stretch, but how have the last couple games impacted your confidence?
Honestly, I don't think it impacted my confidence. I think it just grew me up a little bit. Like, everything's not going to be perfect. It's all not going to be sunshine and rainbows. You pray about things and you imagine things, and that's always not the case. I think my coaches and my teammates did a great job of just every single day encouraging me, because it's going to happen. It's basketball. I'm going to have a few off games, coming off an injury, foul trouble. So I just, I stayed up. I stayed prayed up, first of all. My Lord and Savior going to take me through whatever I'm going through. And then my teammates have my back, and my coaches, Coach Gar, me, just building confidence into me, texting me, and just keeping me encouraged, because I was pretty much down on myself because I just felt like I wasn't giving the best for my team, not individual. Like, I didn't care about my stats. I feel like I just couldn't give my all to my team because I was in foul trouble, and then just the last few games I was just in my head about stuff that didn't matter. So appreciate these guys for picking me up and making me play good tonight. I think I played good tonight, but just constantly, it's a battle. And then Coach talked about weathering the storm. Like, when things are going bad, just go through the storm. Don't run away from it. And I think I did a good job of that, and just not getting down on myself and just going through that storm. And I'm gonna come out a better player.
John up front here.
Nick, kind of going back to those final seconds there, kind of what was your vantage point on the technical? And then for whoever wants to take it, the first 6 minutes defensively seemed like you guys had a lot of success there in the half court. Kind of what do you attribute to that?
Yeah, man, I just seen, like Nolan said, we playing to the buzzer sound, He had an angle, he tried to block it, fouled him, and I just seen him push my guy, and I feel like, over these last couple weeks, man, like, we just been getting pushed around too much. So, I just had to have his back. And that's the mentality we carrying with us for the rest of the year. We get pushed, we stepping right back up. So we get knocked down, we getting right back up. So it's no more of that no more.
And then defensively, that question? I just think our communication was really high level. These last 2 days of practice have probably been some of our best practices all year from a communication standpoint and a defensive standpoint, just our overall energy going into those practices. So coming into the day, carrying that over from what we learned and what we achieved throughout these last practices, bringing that into today's game, I thought we did a really good job.
Right in the back here, and then Jim.
Nick, you had a season-high 8 rebounds tonight. Do you feel like it was more of an emphasis to crash the glass tonight with Austin out, or do you think all that just kind of came naturally?
I think it's just our mindset, go back to these last couple practices, just our intensity, our grit, our togetherness. Everybody was saying, we couldn't play in the Big Ten, we can't play against these type of teams, we soft, we this, we that, and we came to practice ready to work, like I said we was going to do last game. So, like I said, as a team, there's no more of that.
We got one more question for this. Take it from Jim.
John, Nick and Nolan have both kind of given their take on the last sequence. The interesting thing there is that, Nick had Nolan's back, which has to be good to hear, because there's a lot of times where you guys don't look connected on the court. It looks like you're still a team that's kind of learning to play with one another. Having seen that final sequence, does that make you feel better just kind of about the togetherness and unity of this team?
Yeah, I think from outside looking in, yeah, it may look like we're not together, but I love these guys to death. I would go to war for these guys. When you're losing sometimes, yeah, people think you're not together. That happens. I mean, we were winning last year, and we had a lot of returners, so it looked like everything gelled together. But we're still getting to learn each other. I've only known this guy, I haven't even known him for a year now, but this is my brother, and I love him to death. And we're going to keep going to battle for each other. And then what Nick said, yeah, technical, yeah, it's it is what it is. But like stuff like that, and just going to war for each other, and Nolan knowing that he had his back through all that, it's just good to feel. I think we're just going to keep getting better, and we're going to keep growing closer as the season goes on.
And Nolan did point out, for the record, on the sketch sheet, you'll see that technical fouls, there was none. So you can either take it for what it's worth.
He's all set.
You guys got deadlines and bedtimes. Jimmy, you got to go and put your kids to bed, or they're too old?
I'm going to have a second driver on Thursday.
Shit,
so
you are getting old.
Thanks for asking. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Do you have mixed feelings about the way the game ended with Nolan doing what he did? Because it's probably unnecessary in some ways. You probably wouldn't have loved it if it happened to your team, and yet the response to it, there's some togetherness there. Is that kind of how you see
I
it?
think I'm not gonna get into refereeing, and those guys got a really hard job, but there was some actions on the other end that if they get them under control, then that never happens, because the play would have been whistled dead. But yeah, I think that's you don't want to see that happen, but we're going to play. They were pressing us until the very end. We're going to play out the very end. The thing I like about tonight is we showed some fight and some togetherness and some heart, and it wasn't perfect. But when you have heart and you have fight, you always have a chance. And that just how we, into different aspects of the game, we were physically and emotionally engaged and after it, regardless of who was going to be the opponent tonight. I thought we practiced really well yesterday, and I'm just going to, that's things that happen in a game. And the referees handled that call at the end well, but I think I'll deal with that with the league in terms of we should have never gotten to that based on some other stuff. So
Let's go John, then Michael.
yeah.
First of all, before my actual question, do you want to clarify what you mean by the other things that weren't?
Just watch the film. Yeah.
And then the question I was going to ask, to have better 3-point shooting, how do you feel like that kind of opened things up for you?
Yeah, I
guys?
mean, it creates energy, right? I mean, as much as you try to say don't get emotionally attached to your shot going in or not, I thought, we got good looks, we knocked them down, we took the right ones, and that energizes both ends of the floor. And I thought we were good defensively. We did a pretty good job on Donovan Dent, keeping him out of the paint. We obviously trying to minimize what Bilodeau could do. We did a lot of switching, and then we had to fight the post, which I thought our guards did a good job of that. We were able to load from the backside and take away lobs for the most part. So I just thought collectively we were really connected and really physical and energetic and together and emotionally together. And like I said, that shows me some fight and some toughness and some heart and things that we've been demanding more of. And it shows that, when we get it all on one page, or we all get on the same page, we can do that.
Michael?
There's a stretch late where John was really dominating the ball.
Mm-hmm.
How important was for him to have that, especially after what he's been going through the last?
Yeah, I thought I thought he practiced well even before Purdue. I mean, he got off to a good start against Purdue. The fouls, I think, took him out of rhythm. But for him, it's just getting back. Let's practice. And he practiced really well yesterday, really well. And I'd expect him to come out and play well. Just with how they went small, we had to go small. Obviously, we don't have Aussie tonight, but regardless, we would have had to go small with what they were doing. So just going to the high ball screen and knowing we were in the bonus, they were switching a lot of things except when the 5 was involved. So, let's get the 5 involved and play downhill and play in the middle of the floor, because they did a really good job of loading when we got to wing ball screens. We didn't have a lot of room to operate. So you put the ball in a really good player's hands and knowing we were in the bonus and get him downhill and get him to the line and help him. And he did a good job of finding others too.
Right then, your coach.
Yeah.
Coach, Nick had alluded to the mindset he and the rest of the team had taken into practice over these past couple of days. Just from your vantage point, what did you see in terms of a response from Saturday and the lead up to tonight?
Yeah, the response was good. I mean, we got back in here Sunday. We were doing film by noon. We went through that and then went up on the court in the practice gym and got a lot of shooting, introduced UCLA, did our half-court possessions. I made sure I modified, guys that had played heavy minutes. And then we kind of split off and sent my heavy minutes guys with our strength coach to do some recovery. And I took the other, 9 guys and we did some scrimmaging. And I think that's always important for younger guys and new guys to get us being able to teach them even more on our stuff that doesn't involve game preparation, and did that. And then came back yesterday and had our normal, scouting report. We lifted yesterday and then on the floor to practice and, went about 75, 80 minutes. And like I said, I thought we practiced really well. Really, we were really sharp. We were communicating. We were loud. I think you look through continuity usually brings consistency. And obviously with a new roster, we've been inconsistent. So I think just trying to microwave the continuity to get us to be more consistent, knowing we got to do it quickly when you got so many new guys. But I look around the country, the teams that have been really, really steady, the continuity from year to year, meaning they've had a lot of guys or have a lot of guys back, which is sometimes you get hit with a heavy senior class. Sometimes in the portal, you have musical chairs going on your roster. So, but really, the continuity has taken us a little longer than I would have liked. But that helps you become more consistent when you really start to figure each other out and start to really understand what it takes to be competitive and successful at this level.
John?
What's Rap's prognosis, whatever you can say about that?
I don't know. Yeah, he got dinged up yesterday in practice, so I found out late this morning that he wasn't going to go, so I'll see. I haven't talked to our trainer today at all or tonight to see what – tomorrow's an off day, so we'll see what tomorrow and Thursday and Friday bring. So I don't have any more update than that.
And then what did you like about the half-court defense? I think it was the first 6 minutes where their only points were on fast break.
Yeah, I thought even a couple of those, we ran up on long rebounds, which we shouldn't have run up, and then we didn't cover the rim on one of them. But no, I thought we were connected, we were energetic, we were physical, we were covering for each other, we had each other's back. I mentioned the post defense when we got guards in there on Bilodeau. Just a lot of really, we had a couple ball screen mistakes. One we hedged way too far, one we didn't hedge at all. Other than that, there wasn't, I thought we were pretty solid and a lot of good things to build upon, because we'll have to continue to get better on that end of the floor.
Final question, Michael.
For the bench's purposes, what did it mean for Jack to kind of finally see some shots fall and, get some...
Yeah, I mean, he plays. He's spent all the time on the scout team. I've had him over there just because it helps balance the boat, so to speak, and knowing he's a competitor. He's been here, so he comes with a little more knowledge than the new guys of what we need. He's athletic and physical. I mean, he's playing the 4 tonight for us offensively, just because with obviously Aussie, and then obviously just how they went small. Between him and Blackwell played it a little bit defensively. Carrington played some of it at the 4. But Jack's just his energy. He rebounded. He was you could tell he was talking defensively. He was in a stance. He was covering the weak side and talking to quarterback and people above him. So just he understands his role. His role doesn't have to be to score a lot of points, if any. His role is to do those other things that he can bring his experience to the table to help bring that grittiness, that toughness, and that energy that he can bring to this team.